Hello and welcome to Signs and Wonders. This video is about the Daimon. This is a Greek word for your guide, your spiritual guide, or you could say your guardian angel. And this guide was chosen by you before you were born. So there's a time in between your last death and your current life when you have been able to make choices. We have no idea what period of time happens between those two things. And we do have people talking about their past lives and reincarnated after quite short periods of time and longer periods of time. And then it might be that, of course, you remember a previous life that was before your last life. And then the time issue becomes a major challenge. And it's not very important in some ways. The most important thing is that you are in touch with this divine messenger, if you like. Well, an angel is a messenger. And it's like your soul has got a thread to you, and the thread is like a pathway, and the angel or the Daimon can run up and down the pathway and keep dropping hints into your life to help you, and can also intervene if something tricksy is going to happen. Now, I think the most important thing to think about is that the Daimon is not a separate being. It is integrated into who you are. So when you get those messages, they are coming from something inside you. It's not like it's kind of hovering up here and it's detached from you. No, it's not like that at all. It is actually an integrated part of the complexity of who you are. And you have to listen to it. Now, I don't know whether you've been following a television series, really brilliant television series, based on really brilliant books. And these books, as a trilogy, are called His Dark Materials. And they're written by Philip Pullman, an English writer living in Oxford. If you don't already know these books, then they should be on your book list. And they were originally written nearly 20 years ago now. And they've only just recently been made into television series. Somebody a while back made a movie from one of the trilogy, and it was not very successful, and the filmmakers declined to make the other two books into movies, which left the field clear for some very good TV production team to make these television series, which you can view streaming if you look for them. So His Dark Materials, they've just done two seasons. The third one will come along next year. Now, the basic concept in this fantasy is that people living in a certain kind of world are able to see their daimon, or they actually pronounce it demon. And I think Philip Pullman writes it Daemon. But it's very important not to confuse demons, like, negative, devilly kind of characters, with a daimon. Because a daimon is not like that. And in his story, the characters have a daimon. I'm going to use that word, daimon. They have a daimon that they can see. It's separate from themselves, and it always takes an animal shape. And until a person has matured and gone past puberty, their daimon can change shape and can be sometimes a butterfly, sometimes a polecat, or sometimes something even more ferocious if necessary. Once they get to adulthood, their daimon will fix itself into a particular kind of creature. And so the adults all have very particular creatures, like their one character is Lord Azrael, and he has a snow leopard. I really like snow leopards. I think that might be one for me. And the main protagonist, Lyra, her daimon in this story is always changing, and it hasn't settled yet. Now, one of the interesting things about the story and the way it's portrayed is that it seems like Lyra, and Lord Azrael as well for that matter, can actually have conversations with their daimon. So they talk to them as though it's another person, which is what I think you can do for yourself with your daimon. However, what's interesting is that the baddies don't seem to talk to theirs. I was making a note of that as I was watching it. So one baddie, Lord Boreal he's called, he has a snake. And you see the snake come out of his jacket sometimes. But they don't say anything to each other. And Mrs. Coulter, who's a real villain character, although she's, enigmatic, we should say, perhaps not all bad, she has a golden monkey. And she never has a conversation with it. She just treats it like a servant or a slave and gets it to do her bidding. And at one point in the dramatised version, she actually sits on the floor with it and says, "Are you for me or are you against me?" As though she's challenged by the fact that this character, who is really essentially part of her, is having an argument with her, right? So that is a bit like your ego having an argument with your spiritual guide. So it's a really interesting series and very beautifully made. They're wonderful, wonderful scenes with the polar bears, so it's highly recommended. But the reason I brought it up is that if you have a daimon and you don't talk to it, how are you going to get the wisdom that you need? If you don't give it space in your life to say something to you, then you may lose out. Now, the daimon can speak to you through dreams, and of course, you have no resistance at that point. The daimon can bring something up for you, but you might not even recognise that it's meaningful, or you might think, well, what did that dream mean? And you might be puzzled. But if you meditate and you allow that possibility of liminal space in your life, then you can talk to your daimon during that time, and the daimon's got a window in which to say something to you. So you must never neglect your meditation time. I don't know what time you've got in your life to give to it, but, twice a day is what I suggest to people. And during that twice a day, you've got the opportunity to open the window for the daimon to present itself to you in some way. You might keep a notebook by your side and just write down something that comes up, just as you would with a dream. But it's a crucial part of spiritual development is to get to know how to keep that contact open, how to keep that window open, so you don't miss out on the messages that you need in order to move yourself through the different stages that we've discussed before, the 4 stages that your spiritual substance wants to create something in this life. So the guidance will come if you leave the window open for it. Now, I hope that makes sense, because it's quite skimming the surface about the daimon. And if you have any more questions, just drop them in the box, and I keep an eye on the comments, so I can either answer it in the comments or I might use it in another video. And the main thing is, find out what your purpose is. Don't shilly-shally around. And at this time in history, that's really essential. Know who you are, know what you're doing here on this planet at this time, and make sure you have a commitment to bringing that into the world with all your passion. You know, there is just as infinite passion. Life, that's what life is, and you're part of that. And once you feel it, whatever's going on out there with lockdowns and face masks and so on and so forth, whatever's going on, if you have got that in your heart, it's a bit lower down than that, but if you've got it and you know it, then there's an enormous amount of strength and confidence and a tenacity that can come with that knowledge and with that sense. So keep meditating, keep shining, and look out for some of my courses. The Schaefer method will guide you through a really brilliant meditation technique if you haven't got one at the moment. And grounding your life purpose is another route to finding out who you are, why you're here. So check in at my website, Theolyn.com. Look for special offers. Make sure you're subscribed, and then you'll always know when I'm making another video. And I'd love to hear from you.